Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Shai De La Fuente, a member of BCBP Alabang.
And I am Erica Sanchez, a member of BCBP Makati. Shai, another Saturday night, and then you're my date again.
I know. So excited to be here, and we want to welcome everybody to Unmasked.
Unmasked.
Good evening once again. This BCBP live talk show is streaming in Facebook, BCBP Kapatiran, and YouTube, BCBP TV. Tonight, our episode 4 is entitled Knock Knock, NAC 41.
Naka naman, Shai. And we're here to celebrate that wonderful last weekend, which was the NAC 41 online. Our episode tonight will be all about that. And we can't get enough of it. And I wished we could have had all the members of the committee as our guests tonight, but let's welcome our special guests. So, of course, we'll start with our brother who is a graduate of BCLP 9 in 2004 under the Calamba chapter and presently serving as the Regional Service Coordinator for Family Life in STR 1A. The man of the hour, our NAC 41 chairman, Mr. Chair himself, Edgar Ramilo of Canlubang chapter. Magandang gabi, Mr. Chair.
Good evening, Erica. Good evening, Shai. Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening.
Glad to be here.
Thank you. And Mr. Chair, please do us the honor of mentioning all the chapters and outreaches in the region who hosted this memorable event.
Okay, Erica. There were actually two regions that hosted NAC 41, Southern Tagalog Region 1A or STR 1A and the Southern Tagalog Region 1B or STR 1B. So for Southern Tagalog Region 1A, we have Calamba, Canlubang, Los Baños, San Pablo chapters, plus Santa Cruz outreach. For STR 1B, on the other hand, we have Binyan, General Trias, Imos, Santa Rosa, and Santa Rosa Nuvali chapters, plus San Pedro, Tagaytay, and Carmona outreaches. All of them gave their full support to our NAC 41. So as you can see on screen, these are the committee heads who really work hard for the success of our NAC 41. And on this screen are the subcommittee heads who also work hard to for the success of our NAC 41 event.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Allow me now to invite our second guest, the ever-energetic, newly discovered Micah celebrity look-alike daw na si Mark Anthony. He is the chapter head of Binyan and a graduate of BCLP 14 in Lipa in the year 2008. Our committee head for Saturday Night Praise Jam and Mr. Pure Energy himself, Mr. Jason Lontok. Welcome, Jason.
Good evening, BCBP. Good evening.
Ay, Miss.
Thank
Yan.
you.
Talagang pure
Energy
energy. Grabe. Nag-reverb yung yung speakers ko.
Yeah.
Naramdaman ko rin siya. So now, together with our gentleman is our first ever lady guest of Unmasked, the hardworking dragon lady of the team. Ka-look-alike din daw ni Karen Davila. She's a graduate of BCLP number 1 in year 2000 of soon-to-be chapter San Pedro Outreach, and the supportive wife of Outreach Head Livio Cabalhian. Let us give a round of applause to our equally dynamic and bubbly MC of Praise Jam, Maria Cristina Chris D. Cabalhian. Hi, Chris.
Good evening, gorgeous ladies of Unmasked.
Hello, Chris. Thank you for being here. Shai, before we move on, I just want to shout out to everybody who's been flooding the chat. So, of course, we have our President PV tuning in. We also have NSC Mission Head Annie Cerato. We have the chapters of Canlubang, Santa Rosa, Nuvali, Tuguegarao, CDO West, Kapatagan Valley, Santa Rosa, Nuvali, and Bulacan Central saying hello. So, good evening to everybody. Mayong gabi sa Montanan.
Galing naman, Erica. I also want to say hello to Mrs. Helen Ramilo, the wife of the chair. Hello
Hi.
po, good evening.
Madam Chair,
Madam Chair.
in other words. So it's been a week after our NAC 41 online, and I hope you've all had your well-deserved rest. Yes, thumbs up. No, I see shaking of heads, but we'll go to that a little later. So let's start with our questioning. How would you describe or define the atmosphere among the committee members during the days leading up to August 20 and 21? We'll start with our first ever lady guest, Chris.
Ay, ako agad. Okay. Anyway, so it was really days before it was really very tense and overwhelming. But at the same time, especially ako, I'm really very excited just like everyone else kasi especially me being the director of the first two events, I'm really looking forward on how all the elements will come together. Ikaw, Jason?
Alam mo naman, Sis Chris, yung events natin, no, yung participating in event, it's like watching movies sa Netflix. Yung mga days na pinagdaanan natin. Kompleto kasi. There's action, suspense, drama. Siyempre, minsan may comedy. Action. Bakit may action? Ito, imagine this, brothers and sisters. The Secretariat team processing the registration of almost 10,000 members up to August 20. Then yung breakfast team, the Friday and raffle teams needed to go out to shoot. There were so many things to deliver before the big day of August 20. Talagang action-filled. Pero syempre, meron din drama. And I will let you in a little secret. Okay lang bang i-share to, Sis Chris?
Go ahead.
Siya and Erica, during the preparation, there were disagreements along the way. Disagreements between brothers and sometimes sister. And sometimes after a very lengthy and heated discussion, what will follow is complete silence in the Zoom meeting. Talagang tahimik after the discussion. But after a few minutes, back to normal na lang ulit. Sasabihin na lang namin, let's just play the maglalatik video para good vibes naman tayo ulit. So after that, ayos na uli yun. Then of course, suspense, especially sa tech team and sa digital and sa oversight committee because nobody really knew what will happen on the first day of the event. Talaga namang very stressful, exciting and fulfilling. Yan ang atmosphere during the preparation. How about you, Chairman Edgar? How was it dyan sa bandang Kalamba when you were preparing?
We felt the pressure, but generally we were all very, very excited kasi we were about to host the biggest online event of the year sa BCBP with 10,000 registered members and close to 18,000 viewers globally. So I was definitely sure that God will always help us and He will always bless our efforts and He will give BCBP a very, very successful NAC 41.
It was a very successful NAC 41. You are right. And I'm sure part of those 10,000 that attended NAC belong to San Fernando, Pampanga, Tarlac Mission, and Iloilo who are part of our audience tonight. Edgar, marami nagtatanong. Sana hindi mo mamasamain tong tanong na to ha. Has your hair, lalo na ang facial hair, has it always been like this before NAC 41 or was it a result of NAC 41?
Nako. Well, alam nyo, if you ladies have makeovers sa beauty parlors to give you a new look, or kami naman, we men, we just simply grow our facial hair and after a week or so, we totally look different at no cost at all.
Facial hair lang. Atom na atom ang dating. Alam ko,
I
may
heard,
nag-aabang
oh,
nun.
nga.
Diba?
Somebody
Anyway.
told us.
Kidding
Correct.
aside, in relation to NAC 41, I was really supposed to play the role of Peter going out of his boat, walking on water, and meeting the Lord. So the director during that time told me, Edgar, you have to have the apostles' look.
Mukha namang apostle siya.
Apostle. Hindi ko lang alam kung sino apostle ang kamukha ko. Kasi it would be any of the 12. Anyway,
Bagay. Bagay, Chair. Bagay na bagay.
May 12 options ka naman.
yes.
Correct.
Anyway,
Erica, ay, may sasabihin ka pa, Chair. Go ahead, go ahead.
yes. Anyway, hindi natuloy yung scene na yon because according to our director, it would be very hard for them to make a transition from that scene where I was on walking on water to the scene where Brother Al and I will be introducing the 13 different areas. So that's the story behind it.
Grabe, ang ganda ng mga behind the scenes stories.
And I
Erica,
know
actually,
this group is where we'll really get the insights
A lot.
on what really went down behind all the preparation, no, Shai?
correct. So yung mga audience natin, abangan ng mga side kwentos. Erica, meron akong ibon na nakausap na naman. Bumulong
Yung
na
ibon mo
naman.
na yan, na tumatawid, nakailang episode na yung little bird mo na yan.
Every episode, meron. So, ibabato ko kay Chairman Edgar. Edgar, a little bird told me that your region was actually preparing for NAC 42, not NAC 41. So, dapat pala next year pa kayo? How did you end up hosting NAC 41? And I'm curious, no, dahil napaaga, what were some of the challenges you encountered? But more importantly, how were they successfully addressed?
Yes, we were rescheduled to host NAC 42 next year, 2022. In fact, meron na kaming booking sa SMX Manila for 2022. Then, meron namang yung initial communications namin with the hotels and the transportation groups. Nagawa na yun. However, late January this year, we were informed that we will be hosting NAC 41 this year. Then, hindi na pala face-to-face NAC that we were preparing, that it will be an online NAC na hindi pa namin naranasan before. So, we have several months to prepare only. Kaya there were lots of challenges that we faced. Some of the challenges were I had to reorganize all our working committees so that it will be focused directly on virtual NAC. And next, another challenge we had was yung pandemic, because there were lots of restrictions sa aming movement. We met only virtually. Lahat ng meetings namin puro virtual. Even our music ministry, when they practice, they cannot practice together, but they had to practice individually in their respective homes. Then another challenge we had was we had no experience whatsoever in hosting a virtual NAC. We had no reference manuals to guide us, since this was the first time, or this is the first time that a virtual NAC is being done, and many more. So we had to break out of our comfort zones just in order to serve the Lord. But the important thing is that no matter how big our challenges, how many challenges we face, the Lord the Lord really blessed us, and the Lord delivered us from all of these challenges.
And deliver us, He
Delivered us.
did. Because again, it was the most overwhelming in terms of number of attendees, just like was mentioned by all our panelists in the start, no? Over 10,000, and then globally, so many people watching. And really, it is only because of the Lord that we were able, and all the committees and all the regions were able to put this, to pull this off. So I want to ask a few more questions, but there's one that came on in the chat group from Annie Cerato. Hosting NAC is indeed challenging for the host region or chapters. I'd like to direct this to Mr. Chair. How did you manage the personal differences and preferences to achieve success in this latest NAC?
Well, of course, lahat naman ng committee heads po namin ay chapter heads. And of course, they have different views, but I listened to all of them. And we, of course, decided as a team. And Anyway, ganon yung nangyari. Marami talagang different opinions, but we pray together, and the best opinion, that's what we followed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So to go on with the program, to really appreciate the whole NAC 41 experience, now let's go to it event by event, day by day. Para naman we're reliving everything all over again. So starting out with Friday, it was a beautiful staging for the Friday and Saturday program. I want to ask Chris, saan ba to ginawa? Because it looked like, an actual stage. It looked like the hosts were actually there doing it together. So give us an insight. What went down?
Erica, it was actually a virtual stage that the creative team did, mimicking a big bangka, parang a lead boat, as we all sail in unison in one community. Ganun yung ano niya. Ganun yung concept niya. And the shoot was actually done in different places. We had shoot in studio, function hall, and even meron din sa mga residences ng mga speakers. And we're using chroma green background. And so, as you observe, you'll see there, Brother Al and Mamonong and Chair Edgar. This was actually shot in different location. Si Brother Al, he was in the US. The shoot was done inside his residence. Ayan yung bangka na sinasabi ko. The stage was mimicking like a big bangka, no? So yon. And then yun nga, so but they were put together, si Brother Al and si Chair Edgar. They're put together as if they're together in the same stage, pero magkahiwalay sila. Nasa Los Baños yung shoot naman ni Chair Edgar nun. So, yon.
Wow.
Wow, that's
so
amazing.
good. So
but I
one
love
was
the
in
story
US.
about the boat. Hindi ko na-notice yung boat part until you mentioned it.
Ako
So
mas
that really
na-shock dun
ties in.
sa nasa US, si Al and si Edgar was in Los Baños.
Los Baños, yes.
Galing. This time naman, I'll ask Jason, no? Jason, I was wondering, when President PV led the praise and worship, how did that make you feel? May difference ba when you compare it to when when we were face-to-face and attending the praise and worship?
Alam mo, Shai, I was not expecting a totally different worship. And siguro same din with the other members. Knowing that it's virtual. Virtual di ba? Manonood ka lang. But when PB started to pray, and when I sang together with the praise song, the beautiful praise song by the music ministry, I really felt the presence of the Holy Spirit. And quoting nga yung message sa amin ni NSC Formation Rene Modricillo, ito yung sabi niya, NAC 41 was one big miracle of our times. That's how I felt during the Friday assembly.
And I'm sure a lot of people echo that same feeling, no? So aside from that, we also heard 4 of our brothers share their personal testimonies. And I'm sure there were several other members who had amazing experiences of their own breakout stories, no? On a personal level, and I'll ask this to Mr. Chair, what was your takeaway from the powerful shares that we had? And if you can give us a scriptural passage that you think would be able to encapsulate that feeling.
Mute.
Oh, Mr. Chair. Sayang naman yung sagot mo.
No matter how unqualified you feel you are, or how insufficient you feel you are to do a certain service, or how physically unfit you feel to do a certain task that has been given to you, do not be afraid. Because when the Lord calls you, He will always be with you, and He will always give you the necessary things that you need in order to complete that task or that service. Now, I can relate that to the verse coming from Joshua 1, verse 9, and I quote, "It is I, Yahweh, your God, who commands you. So be brave and be valiant, Do not be afraid, for I am always with you wherever you go. End of quote.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So during the face-to-face NACs, and the face-to-face anniversaries, the pray over is one of the most powerful and beautiful spirit-filled experiences of that activity. Personally, it's my first time to attend NAC. I joined the BCBP while I was still in Bangkok, so I was excited to be in Davao last year, but because of the pandemic, we were not able to. No, so I'm so happy that our chapter organized a series of Zoom meetings where we were able to watch all together. So parang nagawa din yung feeling, or we were able to mimic how it would have been. And we were also able to do mini breakouts of our own so that we could share and pray over each other's prayer concerns. And that really gave me a sense of what it was during that Friday night. So shout out to all our viewers, everybody flooding the chats. How was it with you guys in your chapters, in your outreaches? Did your chapters recreate these experiences? I see one actually from Bulacan Central where they had a chapter Zoom party throughout all the NAC 41 activities. So that really gave a feeling of togetherness. No? So just put your comments on the chat boxes wherever you're watching, Facebook or YouTube, and we'll try to get them all during this episode.
I just want to read one here, no? It's from Alex Madrid. Please note, sis, Chris Cabalhin also directed the musical Galore initiated by Brother Mel Rebutica, composed of kids members of the BCBP Southern Tagalog, done at the Insular Life Auditorium in mid-2000. Indeed, an authority in mass communication. Yan naman.
Okay.
NAC
Naman.
naman.
Yan naman ako doon.
So, let's move now to the Saturday Grand Breakfast. Ang tanong ko sa tatlo, nakakain ba kayo ng breakfast? Pa-thumbs up dyan o hindi? Sige, but seriously, how did the message of the sharers touch you? And was there anything that you miss most with the Grand Breakfast na face-to-face? Siguro, Chris, I'll ask you first.
Actually, Shai, I didn't take breakfast that day kasi I was monitoring the event. And but I was really so touched by the message, by the sharing of Brother Tito, since I'm also in corporate. So, yon, and there are times, 'di ba, when you have to, 'di ba, whether there are times that you need to decide, and parang I see myself yung always parang thinking na what would God do if you're put in a certain situation. Yun lagi yung tinatanong ko sa sarili ko, being BCB. So, yun. Ikaw, Jason.
Well, ako, I had my tapsilog. Hindi pwede, kailangan ko kasi ng energy. Hindi pwedeng walang breakfast. So, tapsilog it is. But seriously, I love the messages of the sharers. They showed us how to be brave and bold, pursuing to live the Christian way of life amidst the different challenges surrounding them. Kumbaga, breaking out of their comfort zones to follow Jesus, driven by sheer faith. Talagang swak na swak yung sharing nila sa team ng NAC 41, which is to break out. Yan. Kaya ang ganda ng Grand Breakfast.
So shout out again to the community. How did you make this breakfast feel like the real thing? Maybe share with us. What did you eat? Did your chapters organize something for you to do together? I see one here from Noel de los Reyes. It was my first BCBP Grand Breakfast in bed. Wow,
You saw that
all
also,
breakfast in bed.
Masaya.
Yung nagkatid ba na nakatray?
Parang masarap ang ganung breakfast palagi, no?
Oo, totoo. So I'll read one this from Facebook. Cebu Northeast, Long Silog. Meals made its way from Liloan to Minglalila the entire morning yesterday. 221 meals, 121 drop-off points, 13 delivery riders, lots of laughter, and later during the nighttime event, pinakaaligre nga abiba in all the chat groups. Winners, bisag wala makawin. That's so true, no? Parang it was such an exciting coming together. And I think each chapter did their own spin on it to make it more special, especially for those who had first-timers.
Correct. And so I'll ask Chairman Edgar, can I ask if you know how many first-timers we had for the Grand Breakfast? Because for sure, they will need to be invited again by their chapter sponsors, hindi ba? At sana naman napadalhan sila ng food. Do you know if any chapters did this? Pero before you answer, baka naman we have viewers also who had first-timers. Please type it in the chat box. Chairman Edgar, please go ahead.
Officially, we had 400 reported first-timers. This came from the list of first-timers that the different chapters submitted to us before the actual event. And but since we were streamed live in BCBP TV and BCBP Kapatiran, we had more than that number. Some chapters called up and said they had additional first-timers na wala dun sa list na submit nila. So we estimate about 600 first-timers or even more. And yes,
wow, that's a lot.
yeah, and some chapters gave free meals to their first-timers. Although some said that medyo nahihirapan sila because of the current restrictions ng kanilang, ng ECQ. However, they all mentioned that they will be inviting all their first-timers to their regular Saturday breakfast.
That is
So
so
that's
good to
great.
know.
Yeah. So actually, siya, nagugutom ako kasi may mga nagsasabi dito, nag-spam silog naman si Eileen Lontok. So sarap naman yan. And Nuvali chapter had a watch Zoom party for all activities. Same thing with BCBP CDO West. Oh, mga kagayanon! Hello! So as we move on to the activities, now the mass was so beautiful, and Bishop Benaventura Famadico of San Pablo Diocese delivered such a moving and heartwarming homily. So Chris, tell us naman, what church was this held in again? And was the choir live? Who sang in the choir? How did it all work out?
Naku, malalaman na nila. Okay. Actually, the mass was held at the Cathedral of St. Paul in San Pablo. The choir, it was live. It was the choir sang live during the mass, but it was a delayed telecast. Yeah, so we pre-recorded it and then we streamed it at a particular time. So that's what happened. Yeah.
Dami talaga mga behind the scenes, no?
Yeah.
Oo, ang daming pakwento.
Correct. And we're seeing a lot of congratulatory messages here now in the chat box, but also we saw a number of congratulations addressed to you, Jason, and to you, Chris, for keeping the energy and excitement high all throughout, lalo na nung Praise Jam. So congratulations talaga sa inyo. Have you done any hostings before? Kasi pro na pro. And you know, for future bookings, may professional fee ba? Jason, let's start with you.
Alam mo, Shy, in real life, I'm a shy person. So, di ba halata? I'm a very shy person.
Di masyado.
Masyado. Pero, in terms of hosting, yes, I've done hosting before. Mostly company and BCBP events. At kapag meron namang special request ang close friends or relatives, I do birthdays and weddings for free. Yan. But the truth is, BCBP honed me. Ikaw ba naman ang pag-MChin ng so many years sa breakfast at sa BCBP events? So kaya gano'n na lang yung energy every time may BCBP activity. How about you, Sister Chris?
Shy ka talaga, Jason. Parang hindi naman. Di obvious. Well, ako, siguro I've probably done more than 10,000 hostings already because when I was freelance before, I do it for a living. So, and then for corporate, I do hostings also in my company. Pero pag BCBP, syempre free. That's my service. So, di ba? Parang kung saan ka nabigyan ng konting talent, edi syempre dapat i-share mo yon. So, that's what I do.
And for that, we are very, very grateful.
Definitely.
No? Many are also asking about the virtual sports. Can you share with us any updates on this? Of course, please include an update on the Honest One Virtual Golf Fellowship. Are there any winners already? Jason, I think this goes to you.
Okay. the NAC 41 Virtual Run and Bike Challenge. And exciting yan. Alam nyo ba, brothers and sisters, there were 110 registered participants for biking and 109 for running. And according to our committee chair, Brother Beer, the medals and the shirts are now being delivered to the participating members. Actually, meron na ako sa akin. Ito yung medal ng ating
Wow! Congratulations!
Bike challenge. My first ever bike challenge medal. So, yeah. So, dun sa mga nag-participate sa 200 plus, please wait for your shirt and your medals. Well, for the Golf Fellowship, led by Coordinator Brother Rodian Paca of Cebu South, ang ginawa nila, alam nyo ba, they made it a global activity. Ibang klase talaga ang NAC 41. Ang golf, global. With participants from North America hanggang dito sa Asia Pacific. And there are 66 registered participants or golfers. But the winners, kasi ongoing pa ang kanilang golf fellowship, will be known on September 1 pa. And they are using the Honest One or the Honest John system. Ibang klase ang ating mga brothers pagdating sa golf. Kahit may ganitong situation, they really they found a way to do their golf fellowship. Ayan. So, kudos sa mga nag-organize ng ating golf fellowship for the NAC 41. So, yun ang update sa ating sports sa NAC 41. Shai and Eric.
So stay tuned pa pala tayo for the winners of the Honest One Golf Fellowship, no? So that's also very exciting. But another very exciting part of the NAC 41 is, of course, the Praise Jam. So there were 44 entries, really so wonderfully done. Spirit-lifting, spirit-filled praise and music videos. It really showcased the talent that God has given to all the members here in the community with the gift of music. So sayang we weren't able to invite any of the judges. So I'll have to ask you, Mr. Chair, have the judges shared with you how they felt about the overall experience? Madali ba? Nahirapan ba sila? What was your takeaway from that?
Yes, of course, our judges had a very, very difficult time. Ilang beses nilang ni-review yung lahat ng entries. Even if they were seasoned, even if they were experienced judges in several singing competitions, nahihirapan sila because all the entries were beaming with talents. Lahat ng BCBP members have lots of talents, no?
Talented. Totoo.
Talented. I, for one, when I viewed the 44 entries, talagang I said to myself, talagang pang world class ito. And we will be proud to share it with all other countries in the world. Pang world class. Ibang klase.
So true. And the criteria for judging mentioned the following. Song choice, that's the first one. So music video must be spirit lifting. Second, presentation and showmanship. Third, originality and interpretation. Fourth, technicality. And fifth, entertainment value. Jason, maraming nagtatanong. As head of the Praise Jam Committee, can you expound on this a little bit lang, on the definition for each one? What does it mean?
I'm sure maraming nag-aabang, pero inom muna ako ng tubig, ha? Kasi maganda. Exciting topic. Okay, so Praise Jam. Let me give you a little trivia about Praise Jam. In the official FB page of NAC 41, the most viewed announcement is the announcement from Praise Jam, detailing the mechanics, the criteria, the prices. Almost 2,000 views yan. That's why I know that the chapters were really serious in producing spirit-lifting music videos. And talking about the criteria of song choice, very simple, spirit-lifting. I know that all the entries nailed it. Lahat yon, spirit lifting. Then the presentation and originality. So, ang explanation nito, no, the participants or the members must show the confidence or enjoyment while doing the music video. It doesn't really necessarily mean na kailangan original song, but you should show creativity and ability to adapt to the present situation. But of course, love na love namin yung mga nag-submit ng original composition because of their generosity, because they shared their music to the community. And we decided to give them a recognition. So lahat ng 8 chapters who submitted original composition were recognized, and we will be given certificate of recognition because of their generosity of sharing their original music to us. And of course, the technical aspect or technical ability. Here, papasok na yung voice and sound quality, the instruments and the props used during the production. And lastly, because this is Praise Jam 2021, there is entertainment value, the overall impact of your music video to the audience, on the audience. So that is the criteria na ginamit ng ating mga judges. And of course, the winners are first place, Osana by Makati. Second place, Maging Tapat by Batangas City, who is also our Viewer's Choice Awardee. And as a chapter who submitted an original composition. So maraming accolades ang aking area from Batangas City. And third place is Unbroken Praise from Davao East. Maybe we can show a few clips of our winning music video studio.
My devotion, be yours forevermore.
Medyo suspense ng konti, no? Parang chop na napuputol.
Oo nga eh.
Pero maririnig natin ang audio. So congratulations again to all the BCBP Music Ministries and of course all our winners. All of these praise and music videos can now be viewed on YouTube's BCBP TV channel. Please note that we also have a new and updated breakfast video, which will be made available for all chapters to use during their breakfasts. So please download your copies now. Allow me now to ask our viewers to participate in this next portion. For those of you who were together in Zoom, what gimmicks did your chapter do during the fellowship night while watching Praise Jam? In our chapter, BCBP Alabang, loud and proud, all of the registered participants for NAC received free dinner. And since we were all together in Zoom, we still felt the spirit of community and fellowship. So kayo, audience, what did you do? Please share it in our chat box.
We have
May
one here,
nababasa ka ba,
Shai,
Erica?
from Davao Northeast. We had pizza night via Zoom while watching the Praise Jam. Oh, fun! So I'm sure there's so many other chapters that really, again, had their own little gimmicks to make it more special for each and every one of the members. So as we near the end of the interview, I want to throw another question, which for all our panelists, no? So it's been a week, 1 week after the historic NAC. How are you feeling? What are you most grateful for or most proud about now that the NAC 41 weekend is over? So very briefly, let's start with Chris.
Ako ulit. Okay. Actually, honestly, Erica, siguro maraming yung committee lang nakakalimutan. A week before the NAC, I'm on the verge of quitting already because sobra yung stress talaga. But a week before, I had a shoot with President PV. So nung nakita ko siya, so hindi na lang. Okay na ako. Okay na. So, and then I was actually invited by Brother Alma Monong, our AMD, to join the NAC 41 committee 2 months before the event. And actually, I hesitated kasi during that time, I was also very busy with work. But parang somebody whispered to me to accept it. So it was sort of a divine intervention. And after that, it changed my life. But I'm overwhelmed and grateful. And kahit na nakakatuwa kasi dun sa nakakatuwa, ako lang yung doon, yung lady doon. Pero lahat ng kasama ko doon, na mga men, lahat sila gentle. Talagang gentlemen. Sila, soft-spoken. Ako lang yung malakas yung boses doon. So, kaya dragon lady talaga. So, but I'm very grateful. I'm really very grateful na ito yung kasama ko sa team. So, yon. And siguro yung ko talaga dito, patience is a real virtue. Yan. Yon. Yan. Yon. That's
So
it.
grabe, may
Ikaw,
effect pala
Jason.
si President PV sa
Yeah.
mo. Aside from divine intervention, may PV intervention for rin, ano. Please go ahead, Jason.
Ako, I believe and agree with said gentlemen, ang mga members ng committee. And iniwala din ako, and I can attest to that Chris is our dragon lady in the group. So talagang she changed the complexion of the game when she entered the committee. But seriously, I'm very honored, proud, and happy because, brothers and sisters, I'll be ending my term as chapter head of Binyan with a very meaningful service in NAC 41. Excited. That's why this service is very unforgettable and meaningful for me. What about you, Chairman Edgar?
Ako, I feel very relieved and very happy. Kasi for me, I have three things that I really want to remember palagi and I would like to share with you. So I have an acronym for it, which is NAC. N is for nourish. Let us nourish the very wonderful experiences we had as we attended and participated in our first virtual national anniversary celebration. Then next is letter A, which stands for appreciate. Let us appreciate all the blessings that the Lord has given our community. He allowed us to celebrate our 41st anniversary together as one community, as one family, all 10,000 or more. And despite this ongoing pandemic. And letter C is for commit to the work ahead of us. So after this NAC, we continue our work as BCBP members in our different businesses, in our different professions, and in our daily lives. So yan, yun, NAC. So
what a beautiful way to remember NAC 41. And Chairman Edgar, now that you're rested and calmer, what happens next? Because for sure, there are still a lot of things to do.
Yes. Actually, marami pa talaga. We are arranging yung appropriate schedules for for giving out our donations sa aming beneficiary institutions like orphanages, home for the elderly, health centers for the poor, etc. Then we are preparing the e-certificates for about 10,000 members or registered members, and of course the tokens for our sponsors, etc. Then of course kasama na po dyan yung ating preparation of reports and all other documentations, plus the awarding of the prizes of the raffle draws, including yung grand raffle draw na 1 million. We will be awarding it to Kawayan, the chapter who won the grand raffle draw. So, ang dami pang dapat matapos. Dapat mawa.
Busy pa sila. Erica. Oo nga naman. Okay, sige. May nagtatanong.
Yes,
Actually,
definitely.
maraming
And it's a lot of
nagtatanong.
work, and it's really work for the Lord, no? Yeah. So,
True.
and because of all that work, as we're wrapping up, as you said, you're wrapping up NAC 41 and everything that's happening.
Parang may delay tayong dalawa. Okay. Actually, marami tatanong Chairman Edgar, where is NAC 42 going to be held? Face-to-face na ba daw?
Well, let's just wait na lang for the appropriate announcements that will be made by our national office para surprise. If you recall, this year, 2021, na-announce yung STR1 that we will be
Oo
hosting.
nga, I think
was
we're running after
June.
each other with a lag. I don't know if it's Chai, is it me? Is it you?
I think it might be you. Sige, Chairman, go ahead.
Oh, shall I repeat? Sige. So, let's just wait na lang for the appropriate announcements to be made by our national office para surprise. Kasi if you recall this year, STR1 was announced as the host of NAC 41 only, I think, maybe June or 3 months before the NAC 41 dates itself.
Okay, so we will hang on to our seats. And there we have it. We have come to the end of this portion of our program. We apologize if we were not able to cover all the questions you sent in, but we will try our best to answer them regardless. So it is time for what many of our members are waiting for, our fast talk portion called Be Honest Ha. Be Honest Ha. Syempre, our guests tonight have to experience this portion and enjoy it too. Erica, are you with us now? Hindi pa. Parang nag-aantay pa siya. Okay, since all of your first-timers here are the rules. You simply give the answer which immediately comes to your mind. No explanations required. If it's a choice, the answer both is not an answer. Game na ba tayo? Jason, Chris, and Chairman Edgar. Game na. Ayan, may thumbs up na. So, diretso na ako. Would you lead the NAC again, Edgar? Parang hindi ko narinig.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Virtual or face-to-face, Jason?
Virtual.
Aba. Singer or maglalatik dancer, Jason?
Maglalatik, syempre. Maglalatik.
Most memorable part of NAC 41 online, Chris?
Actually, it's the worship, the Friday night worship. Yeah.
Okay. One virtue you found you have because of NAC 41 online, Edgar?
Never give up. Just put your trust in the Lord. And I discovered that I was able to put in good use the verse coming from Philippians 4 verse 13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
What a wonderful thing to
Wow.
associate it with.
Wow.
What's the first thing you did after NAC 41 ended? Chris?
I ate. No, kasi kumain eh. Yeah. So I ate after the praise jam. Yeah.
Nice. And what is the first thing your spouse did to you after NAC 41 ended? Edgar?
He hugged me, she congratulated me, and said, pwede ka na matulog.
Sa'yo naman.
After 2 weeks with no sleep, so pwede na matulog.
Saya. O, tanong,
Congratulated me.
nice. Tanong na rin natin si Jason. Jason, what about you?
Well, my wife Eileen poured me a glass of wine and we drank right after the praise jam.
Wow!
No,
Sana
we celebrated. Yeah.
Si Chris, tapusin na natin kay Chris. Chris, what
Nako.
about you?
Tinanong niya lang ako, tapos na ba? Sanay na kasi siya. Lagi ako nag-MC sa iba-ibang activity. So, tapos na ba? Yun lang.
Nice. So, yeah.
Okay.
Erika, do you
Shai,
want
I
to
hope
ask
I'm
yours?
back. Yes,
Yes,
and
you
I'm
are.
back, and I'm sorry for that. So let me go on with my my Be Honest questions. So before the NAC weekend started, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited were you, Edgar?
10.
10. Spell congrats backwards, Jason.
Congrats backwards. STARGNOC. Yeah.
Ka ng award.
Bigyan ng jacket yan. Anong medal ang ibibigay mo sa co-host mo? Gold, silver, or bronze? Chris?
Platinum.
Before the NAC weekend started, on a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous were you, Jason?
11. I was so nervous.
Tech team or MC, Edgar?
Tech team,
Before the NAC weekend started, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident were you, Chris?
15.
And one thing you discovered about yourself because of this experience, Jason?
That I am a brave person because I am able to face thousands of people virtually.
Brave you are. All of our three
Brave
guests
you all
tonight.
are, actually.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
So that is it for tonight's show. Let me close with this great summation of NAC 41, courtesy of BOT NSC Mission, Annie Serrato, a guest of Unmasked from episode 1. He said, "Hi, BCBP NAC 41, how can I forget you? Kahit virtual, nakasayaw ako. Kahit hindi nanalo, nakakanta ako. Kahit malayo, malapit din dahil sa video. Kahit walang inuman, nalasing pa rin ako. Ano ka ba talaga, BCBP? Yan ang dating ng Espiritu Santo." Amen?
Amen.
Nice. So tonight, we would like to say thank you to all of our guests, Edgar, Chris, and Jason. Did you have fun?
Of course. Of
Parang si
course.
Chris lang ang nag-enjoy.
Oo, diba?
Definitely.
Bilis ko sumagot,
Nag-enjoy
diba? Of course.
So
Well, we
that
had
is it.
we had a lot of fun unmasking, or how should we say, unnaxking, all of you. So thank you to, again, all the chapters and outreaches from the region who made NAC 41 possible, all the committee heads, all the members, the volunteers, everybody in the community that really provided this wonderful, wonderful experience for the whole BCBP, not just in the Philippines, but worldwide. So shout out to all of you. You all deserve it. And Chai and I will see you all again for episode 5 on the second Saturday of the month. Once again, I am Erica Sanchez from BCBP Makati.
And I am Shai De La Fuente from BCBP Alabang. Magandang gabi,
BCBP.